So what is this koyach of bechiyah? What is this power of bechiyah? We also know that in certain times, Gemara says, Gemara Baba Metzia, I think it is. Let me see, actually. It's a Gemara, yes, Baba Metzia Daf Nun Tes. The Gemara says that the gates of tshuva could be closed at times, but the gates of bechiyah, shari demois, ein nanolim, is never closed. Now that's interesting because you would think the tears are for the tshuva, right? You're crying and therefore you do tshuva. How can it be that the gates of tshuva are closed, but the gates of tears are even greater than that? I do remember during the Elah time on Yom Kippur, the Machzor in the Art Scroll, it says a person should try to bring himself to cry during the Elah because the power of tears are immense. And I'm thinking, power of tears, what about tshuva? I'm focusing on tears, I should be doing tshuva, right? What is this koyach of tears? So I want to tell you, crying, what it does to the human being is it changes the human being completely from what he was before to a new person. He becomes a new person. He becomes Pashat, a new person. Therefore, Rabbi Eliezer ben Dodai, you're right, he couldn't do tshuva. But he cried to such a darga that he cleansed himself to such a level that he became a new person. Therefore, he's not the same person, Rabbi Eliezer ben Dodai, straight to Olam Haba. Tears create a tremendous, they say in English actually, tears are the sweat of the soul. Same way when a person works out or he runs and he plays ball, whatever he's doing, exercising, he's moving his body. How does he know when he did a good workout or when he had a good game or when he's sweating? Oh, I had a good sweat, I sweated out, wow, you know. But in the neshama level, in the human element of emotion, of being emotional, tears are the same process of where a person reaches unbelievable darkness. They actually say over, if the gates of tears, he says the gates of tears are never closed, why are there gates? If the gates of tears are never closed, why are there gates at all? What do you need a gate for? It's never closed, it's open. Have an opening. So the Kotzker Rebbe says, I know Reb Nachman Breslev brings this down. Many people say different inyanim of it, but they say like this, that the difference between a door and a gate is the door, when you close it, it's closed, that's it, you can't get through. A gate has openings. And therefore, if it rains enough, and enough pressure is put, it can get through the gates. Gets through the gates. Therefore, there's gates, but you need to cry to such a level where it can get through, where it gets through. And therefore, that's the difference between a door and a gate. But I just wanted to leave with you, that tears are a very powerful tool in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Also a person also, it says that when a person has a good cry, what's their good cry? What does it mean a good cry? Because you reach to such a level that you get to the level where you cry, you take to the depths of the level of emotion that you could, as a human can get, and now you're moving up. Now I'm ready hit rock bottom. I cried it out, and now I'm ready to move forward. So we have to understand that this avodah that we have on Tisha B'Av during the 3 weeks, during the 9 days coming up next week in Mitzvah Hashem, we should be zeicha that actually we should not have a Tisha B'Av this year. We should be in Eretz Yisrael, but we have to understand the koyach of bechiyah is a very powerful tool, and if you use it correctly. And actually, they say over also that about the Kotzker Rebbe, he goes, why are there gates? He also says over, actually, I'm sorry, I didn't mention this. Why are there gates? He says, because there's different types of tears. There's the tears of hopelessness, and there's the tears of yearning. Tears of hopelessness might not get through, he said. But tears of yearning, it's different types of tears, what you're crying for. It depends what you're crying for. But therefore, we should utilize these next 2 weeks. Hopefully Mashiach comes, like I said. But if Chas v'Shalom he doesn't, utilize the concept of what it means to feel the churban, where it leads you to crying. And as the Maral says, we have to one day get to that level where we cry our soul back into our system, and with that, the Mashiach Tzidkenu will come.